Good day to all of you out there following us on Leadership Podcast. You're welcome to another edition of Money Radio. And this is the tourism segment of Money Radio. You're welcome. We are discussing an interesting issue today, and it is on education tourism, especially inbound education tourism. Yes, people come to Nigeria for education tourism, and what are they getting? What is the country gaining? What is the country losing from the numbers? So my name is Case Hammond. I'm your host, and on my right to discuss the issue is Isaac Imori. He's an able person. On the left of me is also, yeah, welcome, Jerry Emanson. Jerry, welcome. He's also an able person. So you are in good hands to discuss the issue. So we're talking about education tourism. What is education tourism, first of all?
Yes, those travels that we undertake, those trips that we make, to acquire knowledge, okay, and but strictly, um, you acquire this knowledge with some level of excitement, okay. But loosely now we can say, okay, it encompasses, going to do study a course like medicine, engineering abroad. Okay,
That is loosely.
yes,
All right.
yes. But strictly, educational tourism would mean those trips we make to galleries, okay, to museums, those exchange programs, that we do to learn about the cultures of other people, okay, and enrich our knowledge bank, of how life is, the other side of the world.
You make an important point there. Exchanges. I've hardly heard about student exchanges in recent years. What's going on?
Oh no, it's still happening.
Okay.
Yeah, perhaps we are not seeing more people coming to Nigeria. Maybe. Yeah,
So-
it's still there.
Jerry, he talked about loose. He's talking about loose, the loose definition of education tourism, whereas you have people coming to learn in Nigeria's, especially in tertiary institutions. Yeah, so let's encompass it. We had exchanges in the past where secondary school students would go to other countries, and we have those exchanges, and now people come, of course, to Nigeria for their tertiary education. But we see the numbers going down. Recently, President Professor Atahiru Jega, the former INEC chairman, Atahiru Jega, he was the head of a commission, and they released a report which said that out of Nigeria's 1,132,795 students, you have only 1,856 foreign students, which made it actually low. I'm talking about low index on internationalization. What is going on?
Well, lot has been going on in the educational sector, particularly, because if you look at the system today, over time, we have cases of strikes. Even with the number of these institutions in place, there's a recently some of these institutions were commissioned. Like I don't know the exact figure, but recently, we have enough institutions, to cater for education, but government is not doing enough to fund them, equip them, to attract people, and the private ones are not reachable for the less privileged people. So a lot is happening, and I think government needs to do focus, prioritize education, for our teaming youth to gain knowledge and be ready for employment.
When Isaac, he talked about government. Who should take the lead in this case? Because not only do we have there are 194 tertiary institutions in Nigeria and counting. Not only do we have government, as federal government institutions and state government institutions, which are public institutions, there are private institutions, and that number is growing. The number of private institutions are growing. They are probably more than 100 out of the 194 tertiary institutions. So, with these ones growing, who should take the lead? And what should be those attracting? Uh, what should be the attraction of Nigeria's education system to have more people come?
Yeah, basically, education is a global product.
It is.
Yeah, as we speak.
Yes.
The question we should be asking really is, what quality of education does Nigeria have to offer the world? That is what will determine, whether it will be attractive or not. We are in an information age, okay, where technology, is in the front seat, okay, driving, development. Okay, and here we're still saying a country where you don't even have electricity. Okay, so I think the government needs to set its priorities, right. Government, because government designed the policies. Okay, so what quality of education do we have as a country? That is actually the question. If you look at the global ranking of universities,
Are you talking about our
just down
curriculum
there.
or our facilities?
Right from the curriculum, the funding, and and of course the focus of the education. So we just here, much of the education we do really, it's just to memorize and regurgitate. Okay, and that gives you, if you do that very well, you say you're an A student.
Isaac, I want to
Okay.
bring your attention to something.
Yeah, but now, if you go to China, the paradigm is different. You understand it, and the emphasis is, what can you do with your hands? What can you invent?
There's a lot more.
You get it? We're talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about robots taking over much of the things we do, manually. You get it? So until those who are, the policymakers,
You mentioned something
look
like
at the global trend and see how we can also adjust, our education to fit.
you mentioned something like
Yeah,
technology.
we'll just continue to be at the back, in the back seat.
You mentioned something about technology.
Yes.
Can Nigeria latch on to distance learning? If you go online, there are a number of invitations you receive every day from universities abroad, inviting you to do their MBA program and all of that.
Of course, those who have the money are doing it. It's about fun. It's about.
Can Nigeria latch on to that trend also? Because we have, for example, some similar thing in Nigeria. We have an open university in Nigeria, and many people, Nigerians, are actually learning from it.
Sure.
But can that be extended? Because this thing has economic implications.
Of course.
It has financial
In
implications.
Nigeria, we food drag about so many things. We just food drag, and in the process, we waste time. We lose time, we lose money, we lose other resources. Okay, so like you already said, people can actually do online. Remotely learn. From anywhere now.
Which we do. There are seminars that
The
are.
question they ask was, what can people out there learn from us?
That is it.
What do we
What
have
is
to
what is
exchange?
what is peculiar about
Why should I learn?
So you look at the global ranking. In fact, I understand that we often say that Nigerian graduates, even though the schools are not so good learning, but when they do go out, they excel and all of that. Much of it is actually willpower. You understand it? Just willpower. The determination of these people is not necessarily a factor of the environment, the learning environment, or the wherewithal that they have, to that. No, it's more of a factor of that willingness of the average, the can-do spirit of the average Nigerian, to succeed. That is it. So just as we succeed abroad, in our various professions and vocations, you also see footballers, thriving people who ordinarily, could not have made it into the Super Eagles, for example.
Yeah. If you look at the trend, if you consider statistics from the 1970s, 1980s, and early 1990s, you would see that there was a trend there. You had people like the Brits, the Britons.
Yeah.
You had the Indians,
coming here,
Americans, people from diverse backgrounds coming into Nigeria. Germans, they were coming here. As of 1990, I can assure you there were people who came from the UK to study in institutions in Nigeria. I don't want to call institutions here, but there are students who came to study, and there's is bordering Lagos and Ogun State. There is this. What they do there is it's an African magic institution that is run by some spiritualist, and in that, people come from abroad to learn African magic from that
traditional religion,
African traditional religion. Yes, those are not the things that you have on offer everywhere. Now,
true.
Whether that figure was captured, whether people like that are captured in this figure of 1,856, I don't know. But there are many things to learn about Nigeria that you have to come to Nigeria to learn. Are we not advertising those things? You mentioned something before we answer that question. Look at the picture.
Yeah, we're seeing crowded lecture halls.
I see that.
As against the
so that
ratio,
goes to where we are coming
ratio,
from, the quality of learning.
So you agree with me that it is the willpower, of the average Nigerian that is, that is exhibited here. Okay. So ordinarily, if you want to go by the UN standards, number of student-lecturer ratio, and all that, this is chaos.
Yes,
okay, people still then here. People still then here, and they're still able to excel.
In an atmosphere like this, it may be difficult for a student to ask questions because it will be difficult for even the lecturer to see.
This is crisis for the lecturer.
So
but I want us to situate the fact that education, like I said earlier, is now a global product. It is big business.
It is big.
We are still seeing it as a social facility, so to say, here in Nigeria. I told you earlier that in 2013, the United States attracted $24 billion.
Yes.
Okay, through education, foreign students that came in, and it also supported 313,000 jobs. Okay, more lecturers were employed. More facilities, classrooms or lecture theaters, laboratories, libraries. So that is it. So until our policymakers in Nigeria start seeing education for what it is now, okay, then we'll continue to, full drag, what is due lecturers, what is not due them. We should actually open up the space.
And there's a need.
And create that room for competition, okay? We should start having specialized institutions now, specialized universities. Okay, science and tech. Okay, law. This university is very good. In this particular area. That's what we should. Given our population, given our size, we did a report 2 days ago where we said that about half of the number of students, that want to secure admission in universities, about half of them don't get admitted. Okay, and you agree with me that it's a factor of, the carrying capacity of universities. Lecturers, funding and all that.
Let me read a figure here, a few figures. Says there are 437 foreign academic staff from a total of 5,604 academic staff in these institutions.
Okay. Nigerian institutions.
In Nigerian institutions.
Yeah.
Foreign students make up 0.18% in universities, 0.29% in polytechnics, and 0.04% in colleges of education. That is Jega
Yeah,
explaining
that's what year we're talking about.
Yes, we're talking about 2019.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm sure that number has reduced, considerably, given the insecurity challenge, we're having in Nigeria now.
So Jega called for internationalization of Nigerian universities. That is, more people should come.
Yeah.
That has the value of interaction. About other people. It's a kind of learning.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, but where do you think? What do you think the country should do to make sure that there is more internationalization of Nigerian education system? What do you think we should do?
Okay.
Before you go there, I would like to mention that I am a beneficiary of Nigeria's generosity, and not just generosity, but Nigeria's hospitality to students from other countries. I'm talking about foreign students, how much they are charged, especially African. When you talk about Nigeria empowering the rest of Africa, you have school fees when you go to Nigerian university. You have fees for local students. It's nationals, Nigerian nationals. You have ECOWAS fees, which is a bit different. You have OAU fees or African Union fees. Then you have fees from Asia, Latin America, which differ also. Then you have Europe and America. Yes, all of those fees are different, but they are friendly.
Okay.
They are friendly. Yeah. So that is an attraction to Nigerian university. Now, what other thing do you think Nigeria should do to attract other students? Before you.
Fix insecurity. Yeah.
Okay. He just mentioned insecurity. Yes, that has to be fixed. And again, we should. I think we should review our educational our curriculum, so to say, and move towards technology-driven, study. Because as we are now, the world is, moving at a fast pace, towards technology. So government needs to, this decision needs to, happen that and, get to move towards technology, basically.
Yeah, for me, he said it. We need a surgery in our education system. I can assure you that not up to half of our lecturers can even operate on computers as we speak. Okay, that surgery needs to happen, so that we migrate them from that manual, analog, age-old, approach to teaching and learning, to tech-driven, system.
All right. Thank you very much. Having international students come is actually an advantage, and it tells more to the world there about your system. So we encourage that instead of losing students to neighboring countries, we want to have those students here, and it gives something about it. It tells something about the system.
Lastly, let me add this.
Quickly.
We need to engage in exchanges, educational exchanges, so that as people learn, they can come back, and then impart knowledge on others.
You make a point there,
so that it can spread.
You make a point.
If you fix our security challenges, people.
All right. That's the much we can take today. All of you following us, thank you very much for being faithful, for being loyal to this program. Thanks to you, Isaac, for being here. Thanks Jerry. And thanks to our producers. Please be with us again tomorrow for another edition, a bumper edition of Money Radio. Until then, stay safe.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship, advert placements, please contact 080 3688 6158.